welcome. I'm Master Lama Rasaji, and this is our Thursday edition of Rasaji Speaks. Hope you've had a great week. It's just getting better and better for COC and PFL all the time. Don't forget, today is our PFL webinar at 1 o'clock Eastern, and we're going to have Diane and Joseph McCurry from Pennsylvania, sharing with you the spirituality behind his art and why his art is how do you want to say, different than most people's art, because within his art it has a frequency, and the frequency will remind you of the Buddhists creating mandalas, like Sister Care creates mandalas that in themselves create frequency and vibration. We have a beautiful one hanging up in the Wellness Center in Jacksonville. And every time somebody walks by, they immediately turn because they pick up on the energy that comes off the canvas, right? So some pretty cool things. He's going to share with us what kind of art that they're going to have in Boston and all kind of stuff. So make sure you tune in today. You're going to love that. Again, that's at 1 o'clock Eastern. All righty. Today's lesson is going to be about energy and money. The way you treat energy and its flows affects your cash flow. Did you know that? Great title. Good job, Sean and Sister Amy. It does. And let me just back up a little bit. I remember when Master David first started training with me about 37, 38 years ago, if you can believe that, right? 37, 38 years. And you have to ask yourself, with all the fisticuffs that's been going on in the organization the last month or so, why would a guy with a master's degree in music, now a master's degree in Tai Chi Gung, stick with the Lama all this time? Well, it's a good question to ask. You might want to internalize that and figure out what that's about. But when he came to me, he was poor as a field mouse. He was bow-legged. He had a hump in his back from scoliosis. Only took about 16 to 20 months to fix the bow-leggedness and the hump in his back. Took about a good 7 to 9 years to fix the poverty consciousness that Master David wrought. He'd be the first to tell you. He was riding around in some old beat up. Now, this was the mid 80s, and he was riding around in an old beat up Toyota station wagon, rusted out and everything. And, the tires were bald and from the early 70s, right? He was staying in a studio apartment, kind of like you probably would in New York if you were a starving artist. Let's say going to school at Juilliard. Master David has had some of the most phenomenal training and some of the most phenomenal mentors and concert masters. Alone, he played in the Jacksonville Symphony for over 7 years. And it's a top 10 symphony in the world, rated top 10. I mean, they have over like 120 to 140 different pieces of music. It's pretty strong. 20 probably plus violin. And he was the second chair, only to the concert master himself. That was his foundation. And then, of course, he got Tai Chi Gung going. He started doing so many figure eights and Tai Chi swim, and that right brain took off, and so did he. He took off. Along the way, he got real creative. He got more energy, and the more energy he got, the more creative he did, and the more money and opportunities were coming to him before I was even talking discourses right between the eye like we do every Thursday on PFL. And we have been doing for 2.5 years. That's right. We got recordings going back to April of 2023. That's right. Quite a bit of recordings, right? Close to a couple of hundred. Might want to take a look one day. The point is that he realized that vibration not only was making his body feel better, making his emotions feel better, clearing his mind to think more clearly and more focused, but money was coming in his bank account, like you see behind me in King Solomon's tomb. And he wasn't sure how that was happening. So about that time, Master David became a private student of mine. It didn't happen all at once. He was like with me about 5 years before that happened. But as we would meet once or twice a week, and I would walk around with him, one of our most favorite places to meet was over in Riverside in Jacksonville at Memorial Park, where Lama Ji did a lot of Tai Chi Gung at sunrise for many, 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 many years. They had this little track. They had the statue of Mercury, right? And we would walk around that track and look at the river because the park backed right up to the St. John's River. You got to love that, right? And so they used to call that river, the Indians used to call that river Walaka, which means river of lakes. Jesus said, believe unto the Christ, and out of your belly would flow waters of living, living life. So we began to walk and talk, and little by little, I introduced him to the concepts that led to the circle of chi. And in those early discourses is how money front door and money back door started. And that's what we teach at PFL. The money that you earn by the sweat of your brow, and the money that is time intensive and labor intensive is front door. But when you do something front door, or you take your money and invest it for a higher rate of return, or you build a network marketing or affiliate marketing organization that truly has residual income, or you write a piece of music or a Broadway show and they're still playing it and you're getting royalties from that, that's backdoor passive income. And that's the income that you have to learn to embrace if you're going to return back to the Garden of Eden mindset, Edenic mindset. See, she talks about that, right? In the Bible, it says, we left the tree of life to embrace the tree of good and evil, right? The tree of knowledge, not of life. And basically, we made it our God. And then we got on this hamster wheel and thought that the only way to make money was trading dollars for hours, trading dollars for hours. And you don't get much energy doing that. And as a matter of fact, if you know it, a workaholic, it will age you rapidly. So it's got to be a moment where you decide, I'm going to get money done, right? I'm going to get money done. Hit me up in the comments if you would like to get money done in your household. So that would be the last thing you would ever be concerned about. Hit me up if that interests you. If it does, then you want to master the stuff we teach Thursdays at 1 o'clock PFL. And even Joseph McCurry, with his art, has learned how to do that. Before he found COC, he wasn't painting for commissions, right? Not as regular as he is today. But because he's trained in Tai Chi Gung for 3 or 4 years, and his lovely wife has also, and she's a beautiful soul, he's producing art straight from spirit that's manifesting on his canvas and it's waking people up. That's right. just like Master David produces music that wakes people up, right? And Tai Chi Gung itself does what? Wakes people up. Well, as we say in the Far East, Baraka Busha to you and to your glorious family. I look forward to seeing you on the webinar today with Joseph and Diane. We'll have a good time. Next week's going to be a very, very interesting broadcast. You're going to hear about that in the next couple days. You might even hear about it on the show, which is another reason to check us out at 1 o'clock Eastern. God bless us, be with us, love us, and protect us. Amen.